Hi guys, how is everybody? My name is Resh and I'm a polyglot. If you're new to this channel, I make videos about various languages such as German, English, Spanish, and Turkish on this channel. And yeah, sometimes I also post videos about me, about life and everything. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So as you can already tell from the title, in today's video, I will be telling you guys how to learn any language in a month. In 30 days, actually. So when I say any language, I mean any language, because this effort that you're gonna be putting every day throughout a whole month is gonna be applicable for every single language out there. And I'm actually gonna be giving you guys 9 steps on how to achieve that goal to learn a language in 1 month. Obviously, when I say 1 month, you cannot become fluent in that language in only 30 days. That would be crazy, I guess. So please do not misunderstand this. I'm not trying to say that you can be a very good speaker. People will think you're native and you will be super fluent. You will have an academic language in that target language. So that's obviously not the case. That's not gonna be the thing that I'm gonna be talking about in today's video, because that's actually probably impossible. But if we set a goal, we can actually achieve a lot in 1 month. And I'm gonna be giving you guys some good hints that you can follow to achieve that very good level in only 30 days and actually to be able to speak in that language at a pretty okay level. Now, some of you might be wondering, why is this guy so confident? Why does he actually believe that following these 9 steps will actually work? Now, that's mainly because I speak some languages and I actually followed all these steps throughout my life, and I managed to implement those rules and actually start speaking those languages. So yeah, now without further ado, let's start with the first step. Now, I personally believe when you start learning a new language, you should definitely start off with learning words, learning vocabulary, but not any words. You should definitely focus on the right words. And what am I trying to say here? There are hundreds of thousands of words in every language, and even as a native speaker, you cannot know all of them. And what we're trying to do when we learn a language is to kind of express ourselves at the bare minimum, right? So what we have to do is focus on the most used words, on the most common words in that target language. Generally speaking, if you know the most common 1,000 words in your target language, you will be knowing 80% of the daily language. And that's a lot. I'm obviously not speaking about academic language, so you might not understand 80% of an academic newspaper article, but you will know approximately 80% of the daily spoken language. And if you think about it as a task, for a total of 30 days, you would have to learn 33 words each day, which is definitely not a lot. And in that way, by the end of the month, you will have 1,000 words that you actually learned by just learning 33 words a day. And that's something that you can achieve easily, to be honest. If you go a step further and say, no, I want to know more words, if you know a total of 3,000 of the most common words in your target language, you will know 95% of the daily spoken language, which is almost all of it. So that will mean if we're talking about a month, you would have to learn 100 words a day, which is a little bit more challenging, but still a thing that you can achieve. But I would recommend, if you want to go that far, that you want to learn 3,000 words, then I would say you should do it over maybe 2 or 3 months. But still, it's up to you. And here, I would definitely recommend using flashcards. If you don't know where to buy them, or if you can't afford them, all you got to do is take out some paper sheets and scissors and make some on your own. Second step, learn cognates. Now, this is very important because it's an easy step. What is a cognate? A cognate is actually a word that is similar in a lot of different languages. So if you know a word in your language and you're trying to learn the word in another language, but it's a cognate, then you will put almost 0 effort into learning that new word because they're so similar. Let me give you some examples. So the word coffee in Turkish is kahve. In German it is Kaffee. In French it is café. In Spanish it is café. The word hotel in Turkish is hotel. In German it is hotel. In French it is hotel. In Spanish it is hotel. The word bar in Turkish is bar. In German it is bar. In French it is bar. In Spanish it is bar. So these are just some examples, but there are so many cognates out there. Make sure, if you learn a new language, to also learn those cognates, because this will definitely motivate you, because you will feel like, okay, I'm learning it. Especially when your native language and your target language, you will find so many cognates, especially if your native language and your target language are within the same language family. For example, if you're an English speaker and if you want to learn German, you will find so many similar words. But be careful, you might also stumble upon some false friends. False friends are basically words that look alike but have different meanings in two different languages. Let me give you an example. In English, the word become sounds similar to the German word bekommen, but it's another meaning. Bekommen in German means to get, not to become. That's why some Germans get confused here. So also be aware of those false friends. Number 3, you should definitely stick to a schedule and have a study plan. This is so important for your motivation, especially in terms of language acquisition. People kind of take it a little bit too loose and they don't really stick to a plan. That's why you should definitely write down your goals, have a study plan. We're talking about a 30-day plan, about a month plan. So you should definitely invest 1 hour minimum a day in actually sitting down and learning some grammar. Because knowing words alone will not give you the grammar. You won't be able to form sentences without knowing grammar. You will just know words. So you somehow have to acquire the grammar as well. If you're not really sure where to start or how to move on, sometimes if I'm not really sure when I try to learn a new language and I want to know what I should be learning now, I type in the language, let's say Spanish A1, and then I take a look at the list of the grammar content and then I try to move on from there. So yeah, you can basically do it like that too. Speaking of a study plan, I would definitely recommend Lingoda here. Now, this is not the first time I'm talking about Lingoda, and it's probably not going to be the last time because so many of my followers out there have shown appreciation that I've actually introduced them to Lingoda. Now, Lingoda is an online language school where you can learn and acquire languages 24/7 all around the clock whenever you want with native tutors from all over the world. Lingoda offers language courses in English, Business English, French, Spanish, and German. So they have a wide range of languages that you can pick from. And now what's going on Lingoda is the Sprint Challenge, which is amazing because you can actually get your money back. You heard that right. Not only can you learn a language online with native tutors, but you can actually get all of your money back. Now, Lingoda has something that's called the Sprint Challenge, which is actually made up of 2 different challenges. One of them is the Sprint Challenge. When you join the Sprint Challenge, you have to attend 15 lessons a month for a total of 2 months. And if you do attend all of the classes, you will get 50% of your money back. You will get half of your money back if you sign up for the Sprint Challenge and attend all the classes and follow the TNC. And now the Super Sprint Challenge is even better because here you have to attend 30 classes a month for a total of 2 months. And if you do attend every single one of the classes, you will get all of your money back, 100%, if you do attend all the classes and follow the TNC. Because I personally believe it's just a super good opportunity to not only learn and acquire a language online, easy from your home, but also get your money back. At the end of the day, if you do attend all the classes, it's gonna be free. I mean, now take this challenge with me. To get started, all you gotta do is click the link in the description box, use my voucher code right here to get $25 off of your deposit, and you're basically ready. Okay, now moving on with the 4th step. The 4th step is something that I talk about in all of my videos because it is one of the most important things, which is daily immersion. Now we have to immerse ourselves, and there is no possible way of learning a language without immersing ourselves. What does that mean? Now, to explain it in a few sentences, when I'm talking about immersion, I'm talking about reading, watching, and listening to your target language. So you have to make sure that you find some stuff to read. And let's say if you want to learn English, you have to find some English stuff to read, newspaper articles, books. You can even start with cartoons if you want. Then you have to watch films or TV shows. Nowadays, everybody has access to Netflix or Amazon Prime, whatever. Make sure to watch and listen all the time. Also listen to music, watch YouTube videos in English. Do everything you can to immerse yourself in your target language. Now, number 5 is also extremely important because it's daily practice. Again, as I said, we're talking about a 30-day plan. That's why daily practice is inevitable. It is very important to actually practice every single day. Even if we don't have anybody to talk to, we have to practice with ourselves. So just speak out loud. Make sure that your tongue and your lips and your vocal cords work in that language, that you get used to it. Now, number 6 is something that I just want to stress. To me, it is one of the most crucial points in learning a language, and that's learning the culture. Why the heck is learning the culture so important? Now, let me tell you guys, the culture of a nation influences the language in such a drastic, dramatic way that it is basically impossible to fully understand a language without actually understanding the culture. Because our main goal is to not only speak in our target language, but before doing that, we have to actually be able to think in that language. And to be able to think in that language, we have to understand how the brains of the people who live in that culture actually work. Now, why is that important? Because otherwise we will just be translating from English to German, from German to Turkish, from Turkish to Japanese. But if we actually understand how the mentality of that culture is, we can express ourselves better in that way. Let me give you a very specific example about Turkish here. When you visit someone in Turkey and they prepared food for you and you eat it, afterwards you say "eline sağlık" to show appreciation for the food. Now that literally translated into English means health to your hands. What? Health to your hands? What does that even mean in English? It doesn't make any sense. So what am I trying to say? I'm basically showing appreciation for the food that someone has prepared for me. But in English, you don't do that. You just maybe say, you might just say thank you for the food, but there's no actual saying for it. And there are so many other examples that I could give about Turkish and other languages that I know that just don't exist in other languages. So it is hard to translate it, so it basically becomes impossible to understand that without actually understanding the culture. So that's why you should definitely also understand the culture. Try to understand the people. And as a 7th step, you should definitely learn common phrases in that culture, okay? Learn common phrases in that language. A common phrase in Turkish that I just gave you is "eline sağlık," to not only understand the language, but also to make sure that you sound native when you speak it. Number 8 is something that I made an entire video about, and that is embrace mistakes. Yes, you're learning a new language and you will be making mistakes. That's inevitable. There are so many rules that you have to memorize. There are so many aspects that have to be considered when speaking. There's the grammar, there is a pronunciation, there are sayings, there are things you won't understand there are things that you just simply won't understand in the beginning, so you will be making mistakes. And what I just want to encourage you guys to do is to not overthink it. Just speak. Just accept that this language is maybe different than your language and that some things might not be logical to you in the beginning and that you will be needing some help to actually pronounce words correctly, to understand the grammar properly. So in the beginning, you're not going to be speaking like a professor. And that's obvious, but people actually, kind of sabotage themselves and try to avoid speaking just because they're perfectionists and they try to think like, okay, before I actually speak, I want to be perfect because I don't want to sound dumb. Well, that's not happening. You're gonna be making mistakes and there's nothing bad about it. It's just something that you do when you learn a new language. So embrace your mistakes and please do not sabotage yourself. Okay, and our last step here is to be consistent. Now, consistency is the key to real success. And I'm not even talking about being consistent for this particular plan. So let's say you've actually made it. After 30 days, you can say, okay, I did this for 30 days. I followed all the steps and I actually managed to get to a specific level and I like where I am and I'm able to speak the language now. Well, that's good. Good job. But you also have to be consistent afterwards. Like even after reaching that goal, don't think that this language will be in your head forever. If you don't speak it, if you don't practice it, if you don't immerse yourself to a certain extent, you will eventually lose the language. And let me put emphasis on that because I experienced it myself. I haven't spoken French in like 5 years and I'm about to forget it entirely. Like I always mix it up with Spanish. And why is that? Because I'm stupid and I'm not practicing. I'm not, reading anything in French. So whenever I hear someone speaking, okay, I'm like, okay, I get it. And I know how to speak, but it's just, it's just blurry and a lot of things popping up in my mind that I'm not really sure of. And that's actually my fault. So I would just encourage you guys to be consistent with whatever you're doing when it comes to language acquisition and actually also maintaining your levels. So yeah, these were the 9 steps that I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to set your goals today. Leave your thoughts about this video in the comment section. I'm thrilled to read all your comments. Make sure to like the video if you actually liked it. I'm gonna see you guys in one of my new videos. Till then, take care.